Now, in the second half of this problem set, we're going to look at a very powerful technique known as the distribution rule or distributing. It's basically going to apply when you have sums, things added that are inside of parentheses that are multiplied by something else. And you'll see some examples here in a moment. I just want to point out that the distribution rule is going to look like a lot more work than just doing plain normal multiplication. And I'm going to admit that it is, right? What I want to emphasize here is that there's always two ways to do multiplication. There's the straightforward arithmetic, just multiply the two numbers, get the answers. And then the distribution rule is kind of a long way, a longer path to arrive at the same answer. So if your brain happens to be engaged right now, you might be questioning, well, why are we going to do things the long way when there's a short way that works just as well? That doesn't make any sense. So think of this analogy. Imagine you arrive home and maybe your favorite television program is about to start and you realize that you've locked yourself out of the front door. You can't get in the way that you normally did, but you know maybe that the back door is open, and if you walk through your yard, maybe climb over your own fence, you can gain access to your house through the back door, right? So every system has a front door and a back door, whether we're talking about math or computers, right? There's always a front door, there's always a back door. And in this case, arithmetic, just multiplying two numbers, represents the front door. The more difficult way to gain access to the solution is through the back door, which in this case represents algebra, the distribution rule. So what you're going to find out in some cases, once we start to get into algebra, because what we're doing today is really arithmetic, it's not yet algebra, but when we do get into algebra, essentially the front door is going to be locked. You won't be able to use arithmetic to solve the problems, but there is a longer path through the back door to arrive at the same solution. So what we're really practicing here with the distribution rule is learning how to get into the system using the back door, right? It's admittedly a longer, more complicated path, and yet that's what algebra is, right? When you can't go the direct route through the front door, sometimes you need to be a little sneaky, find another way around to get to the same place that you would have been, and that's what we call algebra.